You learn a few things driving trucks solo across the back roads of the United States. One of them is that the night has a voice. Out in the middle of nowhere, with nothing but blacktop and sagebrush for miles, the hum of the tires and the occasional CB radio chatter are like lullabies. There are no cell phones yet. It was back in the old 80s. Old truckers will definitely understand the feeling. My name is Jess. I am a female truck driver. Back then in the 80s, not many solo drivers were females. That night, I was somewhere in North Dakota, hauling a reefer trailer full of frozen goods, heading west toward Montana. The roads here are very long. You could drive for an hour sometimes and hardly see another vehicle. The night was pitch black, no moon, just my headlights cutting through the night like a knife. It was a lonely stretch with no towns, no signs of life for hours. I was driving while thinking about Thanksgiving when I saw a faint beam of light far behind me. Then after like a minute or two, when I look at my mirror, came the Cadillac. Old beast of a thing, maybe late 50s or early 60s. Its headlights were dim, flickering like candles about to blow out. I noticed it in my side mirror as it came up fast, swerving like the driver was drunk or scared, or both. It overtook me on a bend, engine howling, tires screaming against the road. And that's when I saw it. Oh my God. Clinging to the hard roof of that car was a figure, thin, draped in what looked like a tattered white funeral dress, long black hair whipping in the wind. It looked human, almost. Pale arms wrapped tight around the edges of the roof, knuckles white, as if it were trying not to be torn away. I couldn't see its face, just the hair, long and stringy, stuck to the glass like seaweed. The Cadillac's driver, a man, I think, eyes wide and wild, was thrashing behind the wheel, swerving hard left and right, like he was trying to shake it loose. He never slowed down. That thing just held on, limbs bent at odd angles, like it wasn't bound by bones. Then it turned. I slowed down, trying to make some distance between me and whatever that thing was. Its head swiveled. No, rotated toward me. No face, just this dark blur where features should be. Then it did one thing I did not expect it to do. It let go the Cadillac. I swear on my mother's grave, that thing launched into the air. Must have flown 300 feet, straight toward me like it had wings, or like the wind itself carried it. It passed right over my cab, just above the windshield. I ducked and nearly jackknifed from the reflex. Then I heard it. Bang. Something slammed into the side of my container. Not just a tap, but like a body hitting steel at high speed. I felt the trailer shake through the wheel. My chest was tight, but I kept my hands on the wheel. I didn't stop, just prayed. I said the Lord's Prayer 3 times out loud, and fingers clenched so tight, they went numb. My CB was dead silent. I tried the CB, but words just not coming out of my mouth. In front of me, I saw the Cadillac floored his gas and sped off like a bullet. Whatever it is, he is not staying back. I, on the other hand, was in an emotional conundrum. What should I do? Should I stop? Did I hit someone? All the questions running in my mind. But, to add to my vehemence, there was a smell, like incense smell in my cab. Ooh, God. It made all the hair at the back of my neck to stand. I had no choice. I drove on, eyes glued to the road, heart hammering, daring not to check the side mirrors. About an hour later, I rolled into a truck stop near Husky Truck Stop. I was white as a ghost, hands trembling. I parked and flagged down a couple of other drivers, good old boys I'd met once or twice before, told them what had happened, and asked them to check the trailer with me. These boys are old-timers. Some been a trucker since after World War II and seen some crazy things driving at night. We walked around the whole rig with flashlights. Not a scratch, no dents, no blood, no sign that anything had ever hit it. One of them even climbed on top of the truck to check it. Nothing. Looking at me shaken, one of the truckers advised me to stay at the diner and get some rest. Drive back only at daylight to be safe. I obliged humbly. But I know what I saw. It was crystal clear in my memory. I've been driving for over 15 years. I've seen dust storms and weird lights and all manner of night creatures out on the road. But that wasn't right. I still take that route sometimes, still make that run to make a living, but I never drive it on a moonless night anymore. I do carry some holy water nowadays. I don't know why, but it makes me feel safer, just in case. The afternoon sun was just beginning its descent when Dana pulled her rig into the museum's rear lot. It was nearly 3 p.m., and she is late. She swore under her breath. The dispatcher had been vague, only saying the load was sensitive artifact and sealed for safety. A single black shipping container waited, its matte surface oddly cold to the touch despite the sun's heat. A museum worker handed her a clipboard with a delivery address scribbled in haste. "You are late. Just get it to the Mountain Depot by 8 p.m. and the depot closes at 9 p.m., he muttered. "And don't tamper with it." "Tamper? I'm not even allowed to open it?" Dana raised an eyebrow. "No. Safety protocol." He turned quickly and disappeared back inside. She shrugged. Rules were rules. Within minutes, she was on the highway, heading north toward the depot 4 hours away. She passed the city, the suburbs, and came the rolling hills and dry stretches flanked her on both sides. Her only companion, the soft hum of her engine, and the wind. An hour into the drive, somewhere along a long empty stretch, she heard it. A deep, metallic thud echoed from the container behind her. It was like something hitting the container walls. She glanced in the mirror, puzzled. Could something have shifted? It was tightly sealed, and she'd checked all the twist lock on each corners twice. Another thudding sound followed, louder this time, and distinctly intentional. Dana slowed, pulling off the road into the gravel. She grabbed her flashlight and stepped out. The landscape was eerily still. Crows scattered from a nearby signpost as she approached the container. She banged twice on the steel with her fist. "Hello? Anyone in there?" Silence. She waited. Nothing. After a moment, she returned to the cab, a knot beginning to form in her stomach. The highway stretched on, desolate and sun-bleached. As the truck picked up speed again, the noise resumed, faint, then louder, then abruptly stopping, the moment another vehicle passed by, or she entered a small town. It was like the banging only happened when she was alone. It definitely caught her attention. By 6, Dana's nerves were fraying. She pulled into a small roadside diner near a native settlement, the kind of place with hand-painted signs and dream catchers in the windows. The parking lot was nearly empty. There was only her truck and an old beat-up Peterbilt. She wolfed down a sandwich, trying to shake the unease. On her way back, she noticed a frail old woman standing near the truck. She was whispering, no, talking, in a low voice. Dana paused. The woman wasn't talking to her. She was talking to the container. They are old, very bad things, the woman said suddenly, her cloudy eyes turning toward Dana. Send them before night, dear. What? Dana asked, frozen. But the woman just smiled faintly and wandered toward the edge of the settlement. Chilled, Dana climbed back into her truck. The sun had dipped below the hills. Shadows stretched long and strange. The banging began again. Only this time, it was no longer from the container. It was outside the cab. Dana slowed down her truck, heart pounding. She just do not know what to do. She frantically looking if there is a place for her to stop, a place with people around. But there is nothing, only lonely stretch of highway. Then came the sound. Bang! Bang! But this time, it is as though something hitting from inside the cab walls now. Her heart stopped. She swerved briefly, correcting fast, hands trembling on the wheel. The cab was empty. She was alone, but something was wrong. Very, very wrong. What was she hauling? Now her emotion and imagination going wild. Just as panic was closing in, flashing lights appeared behind her. A rusted old Peterbilt pulled up beside her, horn blaring. She recognized the driver, Joe, an old trucker friend who lived in the reservation. They stopped at a turnout. Joe rushed up to her window, asking her what happened. I was about quarter-mile behind you. I saw something like moving or crawling on top of your container. Saw you swerved, said Joe. Dana was shaking. Dana explained what was happening to her after she took the load from the museum on the way to depot. Joe just nodded and said, "You've got something bad in there, I guess. Really bad. I am going north too, so I'll escort you the rest of the way. You're close now to the depot, like an hour or so." To which Dana nodded with sign of relief. Darkness had fully set in as they resumed the drive, Joe's truck tight on her bumper. The road twisted into a forested ridge. The noises persisted, gnashing, scraping, thudding. But she kept going, eyes forward, knuckles white. It was close to 8 p.m. now, and she really wanted to make it before the depot closes. Now at night, the disturbance did not stop, even when Joe was at her back, or when they passed any small town. Then, as the depot's tall floodlights appeared in the distance, everything stopped. Literally. No noise, no pressure, just silence. At the drop-off, 2 workers waited. Without a word, they took the container and wheeled it through a locked gate. Dana didn't ask. She didn't want to know. She just got the paperwork done. Joe lit a cigarette and looked at her. "Go home safely now. I still have long way to go north." Dana thanked him, and she drove home with the radio loud, windows wide open, never once looking in the mirror.